can we really ever reach the levels of drama we reached in yesterday's episode again? I don't think so, but here we are, hoping, hope springs eternal. Married at First Sight, UK Season 9, Episode 22, and it's Love-Hate Week. But don't worry, there's plenty of hate to go around already. We open up with Sacha and Ross, who've had a huge falling out over the events at the ceremony. But also, they had a row, things got heated, right? You know, Ross had communicated with Alex. Alex had texted him saying he was going to speak to Sacha, which he didn't do. Sacha didn't like the fact that they've been communicating. Ross took his ring off and threw it on the wall and walked out. I mean, I wasn't expecting that from them, but hey, they have really hit the rocks. And this seems to have come out of, well, I say out of nowhere, but, you know, it's pretty much, you know, hit the wall, having been seemingly perfect thus far.
Commitment ceremony, I was really annoyed with Alex. It's just bang out of order. Me and Ross, we got into a bit of conflict because I'm really feeling like Ross didn't have my back. And then actually just spent the night in separate apartments.
Last night I got a text from Alex saying, "Thanks for coming up first shot, bro. We speak to status you and had out of respect for me." I shown her the text, she got annoyed. I mean, statue had argued and got wound up. Right now, felt shit.
Hi,
How are you?
You all good?
I just wanted to pop in and check you were okay after the commitment ceremony.
To Alex and had a man-to-man. Said you shouldn't have spoke to me that way, you shouldn't have spoke to the other girls that way. When Ross got back, Alex sent a text saying, "I'm going to speak to Sacha as soon as," even though he still hasn't, "and I'm only doing it out of respect for you."
No, that's not okay.
And Ross had put back like, "Oh, thanks so much, bro, love her," not really seeing the slyness in that text, because Ross is the best in everyone, so I was trying to explain to him, that ain't a nice text.
That's not nice.
He's still kind of being a little bit of a bitch to your missus.
Yeah.
Right, so then Ross responds with, "Oh, I can't be friends with anyone." And then grabs his suitcase, and I mean, this doesn't say a word to me, Shan.
Are you talking?
Grabs his 2 suitcases, starts putting all his trainers in, and he went, "You see this?" Throws it up the wall. Honest to God, and I'm going, "Ross, what's going on? Talk to me." And he's doing this.
Sorry, what?
So he can't lip read me. So he's doing what? And it was awful.
Fuck. Do you want to sort things out? Like, honestly, do you want to sort it out?
We'll just have to see what he's got to say, I suppose. But yeah, if he thinks he's just going to drop out, I'm sorry, and that's it. And he's moving back in. No chance.
Like, he needs to grovel.
Yeah.
Like, truly needs to grovel.
Alex and Holly, also problems there, but I guess we're going to get back to them later in the episode. Kieran and Christina, they decide to plough on despite her issues, which is fine, which is good, it's what we expected, and just more of what we saw yesterday.
I say I care about you, I mean, I fucking care about you.
And I know you do.
I care about you a lot.
There's definitely a spark between me and Kieran. I know he cares for me. And I'm not ready to let that spark die.
Then we have a couple of couples actually doing the love-hate tasks. We have Lacey and Nathan, with Lacey telling Nathan he lacks depth and him not really understanding what that means. But also, you know, us realising that, look, he is quite verbally challenged. I don't think Nathan necessarily can communicate using tons of verbiage. Maybe he writes well if he's given the opportunity to, but maybe speaking lots and lots of words is really not his thing. And I think Lacey needs to come to terms with that. She wants him to do all these various things, but I think he needs to come to terms with the fact that he isn't necessarily going to be exactly what you want him to be, and you need to kind of settle that in your head.
What's that mean?
Sometimes when we're having a conversation and I feel like you're very robotic, it feels like you're not interested.
Thing is, I do have ADHD, yeah, and I do have communication difficulties, but I don't want to ever lean on it or blame it, you know?
I'm glad that you've said that, because in my head I'm just like, oh, he's not verbally telling me, you know, how much he likes me or X, Y and Z.
That's how I've been up my life.
Yeah, this is all preparing us to get stronger and go from strength to strength. and help us when we do leave the experiment, you know?
So I don't like it when sometimes you compare me to other guys. Sometimes you've mentioned it like, oh, it would be nice if like you were like that or you were this way, and it does make me feel like quite sad, like to hear that, you know, because like I'm not them.
When I compare is when they're like another couple is doing romantic gestures, and I want that from my man.
I definitely am romantic, but I think in certain areas I could have probably been more romantic, maybe a bit more spontaneous.
Yeah.
Do you want to cuddle?
Then we have Polly and Adam. And you know, Polly telling Adam, you don't tell me I'm beautiful. You're not romantic enough. And I just thought, gosh, you know, after everything you've been through, you guys, I just think to have Polly say that, I just think it may be true, but it'd be the kind of thing to really rub me the wrong way. You know, as if everything in life isn't difficult enough. You have this woman next to you saying, you don't tell me I'm beautiful. You don't do this for me. You don't do that. It must be so, well, you know what I mean. It's a bit boring after a while. Anyway, then he tells her, you're very opinionated, and you know, perhaps you'll get a bit strong with your opinions, and you get in people's faces. And he asks her, has anyone ever told you that? And she says, yeah, loads of people. So what you're saying there, Polly, is that loads of people have told you you have this problem with your character. You've done nothing to change it. But you expect Adam to go from not being romantic and not telling you you're beautiful and to change and do that. However, loads of people before you got married told you were opinionated, and maybe what I think, I would say, a bit rude, but you haven't changed. And I doubt she will, guys. I doubt she will change.
I hear it from everyone else, and I don't think I've ever heard you compliment me like on a more personal level. Like I get, you look nice, or that looks nice. I never get something deeper.
I've never been very complimentary, but I know it's something that needs to be done because it's so easy to say things. That's a good one.
My next one, you're not very romantic. I don't.
Do you not think?
No. I feel like you're very thoughtful, but I don't.
You need more romance.
Yeah. I'd like you to buy me flowers. Like, I'd like you to do like more dinners, or be like, shall we go and do this? Or like, do you know what I mean? Because I know that you give me a lot of stuff, but I just, I don't feel you're very romantic.
See, for me, it's something that I've never done before, so it is something that I do need to work on.
Yeah.
Are you ready for yours?
I am, yeah, go on.
You are opinionated. This is something that I've never had before. I've never had someone be so straight to the point and honest about people where I'm literally like...
Yeah, no, I know.
Like sometimes I could feel sorry for people that get in the way of you because you are so opinionated.
Yeah. So I do have to maybe in some situations just think before I speak and think of how it's going to make you feel.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's your voice or what.
Just need to think about how I approach things.
Instead of being so...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In someone's face. Or...
It's just my tone of voice.
Has anyone ever said that to you before, though?
Everyone.
Oh. So it's not new to you, really?
No,
everyone knows you're opinionated?
Yeah.
That's cool, then, because you are very opinionated.
Then we go back to Sasha and Ross. Once again, Sasha doesn't feel comfortable with him. She doesn't want him in the apartment. So you know what? He just gets up and leaves. Is this the end of the road for them then?
To leave, that is okay, but you at least owe me a conversation before you leave. No, wedding ring thrown across the front.
So that wasn't doing that.
I am not comfortable with you being in this apartment. I honestly don't know where me and Ross are going to go from here, because if you can never see how hurt I was and have the empathy to really understand my point of view, I don't know how I'm going to go forward. You fucked up and you made your decision.
Oh, where do you want to go from there if you're not feeling comfortable? No.
Don't know.
So you think I had no chance of working out?
I don't know at the minute, Ross, to be honest, because that was really, really messed up in my opinion. I am going to struggle to recover from this. It's fucked up my head and made me wonder if I can see a future with someone like that.
Well, no surprises from Casper and Emma. as Emma tells Casper she wants more intimacy. We knew that, and Casper receives it well. But is he actually going to do it, guys? Is he going to sleep with Emma? Is he going to be intimate with Emma? I think this is the final boundary for him. And I think if he crosses that, then I think there's a strong chance they may stay together. But I think if he really cannot do it, then I don't think they will stay together. However, I've got to admit, they are both being amicable and nice to each other, which is more than can be said for some of the other couples.
Lack of intimacy.
Fair enough.
You've openly said you struggle with intimacy, you still struggle with intimacy, and I'm jealous of the other couples, you know?
I'm fully aware that any intimacy between us has to be initiated from me, and I haven't, since that point, done much, and I'm fully aware that, yeah, it's a fair critique. Completely fair comment.
Now, Amy and Luke had a crazy date at a pottery thing, and they sort of recreated that moment from the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze, where she was shaping something out of clay and he was behind her with his top off. But she still seems really like, she says, oh, you know, Luke doesn't know my boundaries and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of think, yeah, but, you know, if you're going to be married to someone, you're going to be physically intimate with them. You do have boundaries, but you don't have that many, if I'm being really honest. You know, there's not much that is hidden in marriage, physically or, you know, metaphorically in the sense. You know, it's, I don't really see, I wonder whether she just really doesn't actually like him that much. I think she thinks he's sweet and all that kind of stuff, but I think she finds him a little bit syrupy and creepy. She actually said to him at one point, you know, you're sounding like a serial killer, and he can't seem to see that because he's always behind her going, oh, I've got something for you, I've got this. Maybe that's, I suppose that can be very tiresome after a while. And I know some people prefer that kind of talk behind closed doors and in the bedroom. They don't want it in their everyday lives. So I need to give Amy a bit more space there. But I feel for Luke, because I feel like he's making an effort, but I feel like he's using the playbook he's probably used throughout his romantic life with other women, and he's finding it doesn't work with Amy. So he needs to change his strategy.
I feel like he's very open. I mean, I love that for him, but it's just not my vibe. You can, like, sit on my chair a bit if you want.
I like that.
Just don't. I don't want to feel any objects on my back.
I like to sit on your chair. I can sit on your chair all day. Replace the word chair.
You say it like a serial killer.
I don't sound like that at all. This activity is making me, my blood's boiling. I mean, I still like smiling like a Cheshire cat, but it's very difficult, you know, it's very hard. Not just the clay. Oh my days.
I'm getting hot and sweaty, feeling uncomfortable. I think Luke's getting hot and sweaty in here a different way. This has definitely brought us closer, I think.
This is very special to me.
Yeah, I've had a good day, thank you.
I have too.
Alex and Holly, I don't want them to change their strategy because I don't want them to remain a couple, guys. I've got to be honest. So Alex walked out after all the drama with the commitment ceremony, but what tipped him over the edge, and this should be a massive, huge red flag for Holly, is she said she was missing her kids and she was sad, and he was like, oh, I don't have time for this, and walked out. Listen, the man's a misanthrope. If he doesn't have time for kids, he doesn't have patience for kids, he doesn't understand that kids are hugely demanding and require time and love and time, actually love first, but you know, they require pretty much 90% of what anyone can give them, and 10% for the rest of, you know, that adult's life. You know, they have to devote 90% to the kids, 10% to everything else. Listen, if not 100% to the kids sometimes, everyone. But anyway, I'm jumbling and getting muddled up here. If he doesn't understand that, then he's not a good person. And he said before, you know, oh, I haven't got this fatherly instinct. Because you see, Holly calls in Lacey to have a talk about Alex, and then Alex goes off to Pauline Adams and kind of he's all there calm, acting like he never got angry about anything, and of course giving his side of the story. And then Polly actually gives him good advice and says, you know, did you tell Holly any of this? Did you tell Holly you're going to miss her? Did you tell Holly that, you know, it's okay for her to, you know, go and see the kids and you'll be there for her? And he didn't. And Polly's saying, well, you should say that to her. I'm telling you as a woman, she'd like that. And he doesn't care. I just think, you know what? Please, Holly, go. Holly's now left the show, but she said she's going to come back. And I think, Holly, when you come back, get rid of Alex. Stop it, okay? Don't drag your kids into life with Alex. It will be absolutely terrible.
I'll be asked for this on WhatsApp. That's out of order, what is him saying that?
Yeah.
Like, he knows that your kids are your life.
Yeah.
And if he's with you, he's with your kids.
Yeah.
Yes, my G.
Same, bro. You're good. Yeah,
man,
man.
not bad.
Good, man.
So how have you been? What's been going on?
I've been okay.
Yeah?
Me and Holly didn't spend the night together last night after the commitment ceremony. I think the whole process is just overwhelming for her, to be fair. And she's missing the kids too.
I think she's kind of dealt with it quite well up until now. Do you know what I mean? Because I think anyone who's in here with kids, it must be really, really hard.
Yeah.
So I think it's just hit her maybe all at once.
But you know, for me, I cannot relate to what she's feeling right now. I don't have those fatherly instincts because I'm not a dad yet.
So what does Alex think's going on right now?
Thinks I'm just feeling down about the kids and stuff, but the reason I wanted to speak to you is I'm going home today.
You actually?
Yeah. Don't.
You actually?
I can't cry anymore.
Why?
Come here. Listen to me, I need to have some time to think.
I understand obviously why you're doing it.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
So I'm going to go home today and just have a little bit of a think, and then I'll be coming back.
Okay.
It's just got really bad now, Lex. Like, I'm really unhappy. I'm not myself.
Sometimes time is good. You know, they say time's a great healer. So maybe this time away just help you bring more clarity what you truly want.
I think I just need to go home and see my babies, get my head clear of what I want.
Exactly.
I can imagine it's kind of thrown you slightly. So where's your head at now?
I mean, I haven't messaged her or anything because I'm just thinking you're the one that's chosen to spend time away from me. So when you're ready, you'll contact me. I am not running after nobody.
Okay, but you should be the one to maybe reach out.
If I wanted space from somebody, I'd take my space, and when I'm ready to talk to him, I'm going to go talk to him.
I'm telling you what a woman would want in this position. I shouldn't have to tell him that he needs to come and comfort me when I've said that I'm upset and I feel a bit shit. Do you miss having her there? Do you miss her doing things for you? Do you miss having a laugh? Like, do you feel like you miss her?
I do care about her.
But it's, do you care about her enough?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Me and Holly are good, you know, everything's there, but to get through this whole process, we need each other.
Me and Alex are just not getting on. I'm going to go home. I need some space. Get me out of here.
So a little bit of boring housekeeping before we get to the meat of what happened in this particular part of the episode, guys. Polly and Adam. Adam does a romantic supper in the flat for Polly. Rose petals on the floor, candles. He cooks his favourite meal. Is this the most romantic thing anyone has ever done for you, Polly? Yes, it is. Blah, blah, blah. You've seen it all before. And it's quite boring to watch. But anyway, moving on. We get to Casper and Emma. Now, Charlene pays them a visit to help with the intimacy problem and encourages them to hug. And they have a nice long hug.
Emma's lent on me and, you know, I've had to support her in some way. I mean, she's very strong and independent as a person. And so for me, almost being forced by Charlene into that helped me.
And after that hug, they then start making love in front of Charlene. No, I'm joking. That doesn't happen at all. They just go on and on about hugging. And yes, it's good. And then Casper makes the biggest gaffe of this episode thus far by saying, I need to know more about intimacy and bringing down barriers for future relationships. Future relationships. And of course, that's upset Emma. And why wouldn't it? Honestly, Casper, I thought you were on to do a good thing now, Casper. I thought we were on a good road, but now you've just completely and utterly messed it up by saying that. Of course, Emma's going to be incredibly hurt by that. Because it sounds like you're saying, once I've moved on from Emma, I'll have all the tools I need to have a successful relationship with a different woman. Which I think is ugh.
So that whoever I might be dating doesn't think he's standing off, he doesn't fancy me, but I need to learn how to do this for a future relationship.
Yeah, but we don't want to talk about basics, because we're talking about the two of you.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
It's difficult to know where my feelings are at. Making comments like practicing intimacy for a future girlfriend. The man is still wearing a wedding ring on his finger. It's not nice to hear.
Sacha and Ross, it ends happily. He has the smarts to invite her on a kickboxing date. They do a bit of kickboxing, gives her a gift, gives her a bracelet. She melts and says you can come back. In many ways, I'm a bit disappointed that it was resolved so easily, but I suppose I shouldn't feel that way. I should feel like, no, they need to resolve and get back on the horse and all that kind of stuff. But I do think this is an unusually quick separation brought about by something that they should have stayed together to resolve. And obviously you learn in marriage that you can't throw your ring on the wall every time there's a disagreement or an argument, because if you did that, your ring would eventually just break.
Maybe. I came into this needing Ross to show me that he's made the effort. I'm feeling so relieved and happy. And now Ross can move back in and we can get back on track.
So we spent the most of the last bits of the episode focusing on Kieran and Christina. I wasn't really quite aware that there was such a problem in their relationship, but it seems like Kieran is struggling with the whole emotional side of it, which I understand. I said in yesterday's episode, he's going to need to be incredibly understanding to take on what he's got to take on, and I have nothing but respect for him. There was a moment, though, at the end, and I have to say did make me slightly emotional, and that's when Christina took him on a little date and took him to see his dog Hugo, the ring bearer, who he hadn't seen since the wedding, and he got very emotional about that, which I completely understand. I have a dog too, and I do miss my dog. But what's amazing is seeing how happy he was to see his dog. I just thought, wow, if every man was that happy in his marriage, there'd be no divorce ever again.
You're gonna love it. That's all I wanted coming in here, was to build a life with somebody. Surprise!
Yes, son!
Is it your daddy?
Hello, son! I can't even speak. Hello.
But obviously having a relationship with a dog is very different to having a relationship with a human being, as I'm sure you're all aware. Now, listen, what did you make of tonight's episode? Looks like the next one's going to be a corker. Comments below, discussions below. In many ways, it was far less dramatic, but there were some interesting bits. Got to admit, though, it was weird having a whole episode of Married at First Sight without seeing Rochelle bang on and on about how much she hates Orson with every fibre of her being. Thanks as always for watching, guys. Catch you again tomorrow.